Hello again and welcome back to Scott Wanders World. The fat ugly one is back and the lovely one is over there. She said hello. One of my favourite breweries, Elusive Brewing, out of the Finch Hampstead area of Berkshire near Reading. I drop in there when I can. Their tap room. I have a check. One of the few breweries that actually do any what's the word I'm looking for? Research to see what beers are coming out, because I like their beers. Do a lot of West Coast stuff, IPA stuff, like that style. Picked up their latest IPA the other day, which should come out before this one. No, it's coming out before this, which is Nimrod, which is their collaboration with Oakham Ales, where they combined Oakham's award-winning legendary beer Citra, which is the first beer in the UK to use the Citra hop, and they mashed it together with their Oregon Trail, probably my favourite beer in the UK at this moment in time. But they also, in the same week, released a collaboration beer with Siren Brew. Now, Siren, for people that don't know, is literally across the road from where Elusive is. So not a massive journey between breweries, fairly certain that would have been an easy collaboration to make. And it's this, it is called 9 Mile Ride, and it's a collaboration with Elusive Brewing and Siren Craft Brew, and it's a West Coast IPA. Probably getting bored of me doing West Coast IPAs. I don't care, they're my favourite style. But this one's slightly different. So this tells us on the front that it's got Citra in it, but also Nelson Sauvin. So obviously a West Coast IPA name comes because it comes from the West Coast of America with all of their lovely hops and just that style of beer. Now obviously Nelson Sauvin, for the people that don't know, is a hop from New Zealand. Tends to have a sort of white wine, grapey, blueberry, gooseberry, not blueberry, I do apologise, gooseberry flavours and aromas to it. So slightly different from Get Out, your normal West Coast of New Zealand IPA. Now they have done a modern West Coast, I think they term these things. I have done this one before. I don't remember if I put it on the channel or not. And this is the Lost Stars, and this had Nelson Sauvin and Rawaka, so New Zealand hops in it. So it's not the first time I've come across a West Coast IPA that doesn't have naturally West Coast leanings and tendencies. So let's see what it says on the edge of the can. This was about a £5, somewhere in that region. 6% ABV. We teamed up with our ever wonderful neighbours Siren to brew this IPA on the 7th anniversary of our first ever brew in Finch Hampstead. So it's the 7th anniversary brew. At the end of the 9 Mile Ride, the bags of our favourite Nelson Sauvin were used hot side before dry hopping with even more Nelson and a hefty dose of Citra. This IPA is brewed in the modern West Coast style, super pale and full of flavour and aroma with a crisp bitterness. So not a traditional West Coast IPA. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to the West Coast IPA, obviously being my favourite style. But I'm not going to shit on it just yet. I'm hoping it's going to be good. Siren Brew did some very good beers. I've got my Elusive glass, which my good friend Shitcan Dan bought for me. I'm hoping this is going to be really nice. Certainly a bit different. Hopefully it's got that bitterness ramped up. It's really well good. Obviously Citra gives you those nice citrusy notes. You've got that Nelson in there as well. Very pale, West Coast leading. There is a haze to it. Looks absolutely fabulous in the glass, I'm not going to lie. It's chilled down. It's been out the fridge for a good half an hour or so. It's getting aroma. you pick up that Nelson. So it is sort of white winey. You get that. I wouldn't say I've ever had a gooseberry, but I'm assuming that gooseberry aroma in there as well. And you pick up some citrusy notes from the Citra. But doesn't smell like a traditional West Coast IPA, but then I didn't expect it to without the Centennial, Cascade, and sort of those sort of hops in there. But it smells nice. Cheers. That Nelson is prominent in that. The bitterness isn't as bitter as I would hope it to be, but I suppose using those hops, I wasn't expecting it either. Very refreshing, very refreshing. Being a modern West Coast, I'm assuming they've dialed back the bitterness. That Nelson comes through really nicely, so you get that white wine, grapey flavours. That sort of, I'm assuming that's gooseberry in the background, and then you get in pieced in with that. You get the Citra. The Citra sort of is holding everything else. It's holding the Citra, the Nelson up, so it's coming in gently from the background, and giving it a really sort of nice. Grapefruit, lemon and lime backbone to it. It's nice. It's not my favourite West Coast I've had for them, but I wasn't expecting it to be because it's slightly different. But it is a very nice beer, and actually there is a little bit of sort of, I wouldn't call it sort of resiny pine, but there is a slight sort of stickiness on the back end. But in the sunshine, and it's about 23, 24 degrees here today, that's going to do the job. Very soft in the mouth, carbonation is very low on it, which makes it really drinkable. I like it. It doesn't touch Oregon Trail. It's nowhere, but I don't think it's actually trying to. It's a very well made beer between two very, very good breweries, Elusive Brewing and Siren Craft. 9 Mile Ride. Modern West Coast IPA. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. It's a nice, well-made beer. It's just I wasn't expecting it to do what a normal West Coast would do because of the hops that are in it. But it doesn't make it a bad beer. I like it. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. If you've tried 9 Mile Ride, then let us know in the comments. If you haven't and you see it about, then it's worth picking up. As are most beers from Elusive Brewing, to be fair, and Siren. I know Wanda likes their stouts. Broken Dream and Nitro Broken Dream, some very, very good beers. So yeah, if you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. There's a subscribe button over there somewhere if you're that inclined. And me and Wanda, see you very soon.